Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot. Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly.
Why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability.
President Trump just said about the president of Colombia.
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And, yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Just like many people around the world, I crawl into bed last night. I'm ready to finally get some sleep. And I just, one last little peek. I look at my phone and I'm scrolling X and I see a bunch of bombs going off in Venezuela. And I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. And I wake up this morning, President Trump has captured the president of Venezuela. They have him in custody. And now he's already done a press conference and he's explained the whole thing. You can't even call this a war because it was less than 12 hours. Absolutely insane. No casualties. Nothing was actually destroyed from America. Like no property was destroyed. None of their helicopters, none of the soldiers were destroyed. Nothing bad happened to America, America's property, American soldiers. This is phenomenal. Trump did it again. Somehow it keeps happening. What a way to start the new year. Am I right? We're taking a look at what everybody is talking about. Venezuela, the fact that they captured literally the president of Venezuela. But more importantly than that, America is now going to run Venezuela. Yeah, but not in a way that you think. It's actually American oil companies are going to be running the Venezuela oil. So it's not at the taxpayers' expense, which is pretty freaking wicked. So we're going to take a look at everything in this video, including the press conferences, what Trump has said, what reporters are trying to corner him into saying. And it's pretty incredible because Trump doesn't give a fuck. Neither does his administration. And this is America, folks, the golden age. I'm so happy to see America fully back. Here we go. Let's get into this.
Breaking just now, Maduro, the president says, has been captured. Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, has been captured, says President Trump. There will be a news conference at Mar-a-Lago on this at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Let me read you the full statement from the president. Quote, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with the U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump.
This clip here is not from today, but it is very recent. Here's what Trump said about Maduro.
Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And yet he still ended up finding out. There he is. There's Maduro in custody. Trump actually shared this to his Truth Social account. We first got this not from legacy media, but this is Trump sharing this to his Truth Social account. Absolutely badass. And the good news is taxpayers just saved $50 million from last night's operation since they no longer have to pay the $50 million bounty reward for Maduro's capture. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Cost savings.
Late last night and early today, At my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Hell yeah, brother. Absolutely phenomenal is what it was.
No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
Woo, that's good. Good job, President.
I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight. With
Best military in the world, proven time and time and time again. Got to give it to them. America knows how to military. Just straight up.
We are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
And I bet the left is melting down over that. They're just losing their minds. We're now running Venezuela. What? Yeah, dude. There was a freaking dictator who was poisoning Americans, murdering millions of Americans with drugs. Now they got control of the country. Things are going to be a little different. It is how it is. It is how it is.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida.
Wow.
But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take.
This is crazy. Not in a bad way, but it's just bananas to think that somebody can go from being president of a pretty fucking big country like Venezuela, big population, but also the amount of oil reserves that they're sitting on. They have the potential to be a really rich country, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? Obviously, clearly, Trump's saying it. They have no idea what the hell they're doing. But to go from being the president of a pretty big country to then being a prisoner in America, dead to rights, you're stuck in jail. Like the cartel, they're not coming to break him out. Democrats, they're not coming to break him out. Like he's going to rot in an American prison. That's insane that is even a thing. Like it's straight up out of a movie. And it also goes to show that this could happen to other countries. I'm not going to insinuate that it should happen to other countries or which countries, but this can happen to other countries. If America successfully pulled this off in 12 hours, I went to bed seeing this on my phone going, well, that's kind of interesting. And I didn't give it any other thought. And we wake up and the fucking guy's already about to be in prison in New York, the state of New York, probably New York City. I mean, that's poetic within itself, right? Like that's pretty crazy.
But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. It was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied.
This is so bad for Canada because the only leverage Canada has had over America is, yeah, but we got a lot of oil and we sell it to you for really cheap. And now America's like, yeah, but we own Venezuela. We don't need your shitty oil, you snow Mexicans. So this is so good for America. It's so fucking bad for Canada and frankly Mexico too. So Kuzma, that deal that's being reviewed and potentially renewed, but probably not renewed this year in 2026, it's going to be torn up. Trump doesn't give a shit. Back to being, I mean, the golden age of America, truly, right?
The U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards. Did that weigh on your decision?
Well, that's when we had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. We have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So, with me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around, and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, baby. Holy smokes. I get Trump going, that's my guy. That's my Secretary of War, not defense, but of war.
And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out.
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly.
Notice how he didn't say by the taxpayers. The oil companies are going in. It's incredible. It's like the ballroom, right? Massive upgrades for America, not at the taxpayers' expense. But America will be profiting off of this. It's really incredible. Truly. Business strategy 101. It's freaking awesome that Trump is doing this.
Will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Wow. And I believe them. They're probably going to put a lot more money and upgrades into the infrastructure of Venezuela. And Venezuelans are actually in the streets celebrating this, waving American flags because they wanted Maduro out. He was a shitty dictator. He ruled the country illegitimately. And so this is a positive for not only Venezuelans, but for Americans. And frankly, the world. It makes the world a safer place right now.
Why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it.
I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. You could be America first all you want within your borders, but if you have stuff that's poisoning people in your borders caused from outside your borders, you have to fix that as well, right? It's a whole ecosystem. So, yeah, I mean, that good answer. Nothing wrong with that. Then here's where it gets even crazier. The president of Colombia Okay, this is the official president of Colombia. This is what he said on X. The government of the Republic of Colombia observes with deep concern the reports of explosions and unusual aerial activity recorded in the recent hours in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, as well as the consequent escalation of tensions in the region. Okay, blah 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 blah. It goes on with this massive post that frankly none of us really give a shit about. What we do care about is what President Trump just said about the president of Colombia.
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! First it was Venezuela, then it's Colombia. Oh my goodness. That's not a warning. That's a promise, and that's a Trump guarantee. He just did this to Venezuela. You saw the clip at the start of the video where a few months ago, right before the Christmas break, Trump had said about Maduro, he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. And I don't blame him. And now he just said that about Colombia. So if you're upset for some reason, you've made it this far into the video about what happened to Venezuela, then you're probably going to want to close your eyes for 2026, because it seems like America and Trump are going to be going into Colombia and going to be just stopping all the drug trafficking from South America into the United States. And you know who's going to be on their toes? You know who's going to be saying, oh shit, we better stop what the hell we're doing? China. Because China's the biggest dealer of fentanyl right now. They're sending in precursors to all of these countries that are making their way into America. They're sending it to Mexico. They're sending it to Canada. So this is a warning, not only to South American countries, but to the rest of the world. Don't fuck with the United States, or Trump is coming for your ass. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys in another one. Bye for now.